while we are in this conversation about the next world or whatever, also there is this, I think, more Asian perspective, which is when you're about to die or you have a out-of-body experience, you've seen the river and you've seen people or things that you care about on the other side of the river. And that river is you as a spirit, now that you detached from this common perspective, the commonwealth, you know what I'm saying? But that big river, or your perspective, or whoever perspective about that river, is you now being completely aware of everybody together. That flow is everybody's conscious, material or pre-material, non-spiritual, because spiritual is no thing, but then you start creating something and it's not material yet. That's what the scientists call dark matter, because you can see it's still an accumulation. There is no separation, no differentiation. Light or the rainbow comes in after the prism separates them, right? But the river is the accumulation, the flow of the pre-material, conscious and subconscious, that you can observe now as a spirit because you are zoomed out and you see things on the other side of the river because they already are outside, they already expanded upon, they're already separated from the river that we are all going through, the Milky Way, quote unquote. That's a bigger river that we can look upon.
Yeah, all the things that we have created, that's the river. All
Yeah.
the material, even thoughts and feelings, it's all that river of creation. And it's not the spirits, it's
The
creations.
creations. Yeah.
of spirit.
And the Milky Way is basically the river, the flow that we are in. Just like a fish can look at the top of the river and see like light or things shifting and shaping. When we look up at the sky and we can see the Milky Way, that's the river that we are in, the galaxy that we are in. You know what I'm saying?
When you look at like NASA concepts of galaxies,
Yeah.
It's all like spirals.
Yeah.
Right? It's
It looks-
spiral,
It looks like neurons.
and we are
Yeah.
living in a spiral as well.
Yeah, or
and
spiral.
a small spiral is the our solar system. for
Yeah.
instance. And then a even smaller cycle.
Yeah, but that's a totally different topic. We
Yeah.
could go into spirals, but that's a totally different topic. But even like in One Piece, Oda Sensei also talks about spirals and how the power of spirals, like in Sanji eyebrows and the energy of the world. And I think that will be connected to like things like the voice of all things, but that's for another video. Just to give you a reference that there is people out there that also know or are spiritually aware of those things, even though there is no like really evidence, physical evidence, because that's also could be another topic and it will be in the future, which is about the development of science. That one day, sooner than later, science will start to, in their own way, talk about these things, you know, because they are real, they exist, and that's why so many people over the ages and years have talked about them in different ways, because we all, as spirits, we all know those things, but we're just trying to relate to each other as the times change, you know.
Yeah, and then it's so interesting because it always comes to the slit experiment. Like they know, and we know that as the shape of light will depend on if it's being observed or not,
And how, but that's a deeper level.
Yes, exactly.
Even to it.
Yeah.
Because then it's a physical, scientific known fact that everything is light, but in a condensed or less condensed way. And that experiment basically confirms that the observer can change and does change the light and how you perceive it.
Also, scientists recognize as well that quantum physics and the dark matter is basically or it's space, it's unrealized potential. So
potential, yeah.
And so if you are paying attention to certain places, ideas, that dark matter starts becoming atoms or first electrons and
the building blocks.
The building blocks for a creation to start appearing and happening.
And in a very seemingly La La Landish way, we can call it the world of dreams, because that's how dreams work as well. It's untapped potential. It's like spaces where you are spiritually, and then you materialize and attract things from. And even in like Jujutsu Kaisen, that's where the power of the cursed energy comes from. And in many other even historical references, even in alchemical references, and even pop culture references, there is a lot that thing of the energy. Let's say we're talking about anime, the energy or whatever comes from the dream world. You know what I'm saying?
and to really sort of delineate how powerful that the dream world, the space of untapped potential, the spirit realm, the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, is it's timeless, it's spaceless. It's something that you don't need to be looking at the place physically to realize. That's why when we talk about like manifestation and creating things from thought or simple observation, is something like you are not just imagining a chair into existence, you are imagining a feeling, a potential, a drive into existence, and that can appear in different ways. Somebody comes to you, somebody brings you something. So this happened around your house, a bird appeared next to that place, and it's a beyond what appears. That's why it's so infinite in possibilities, because it's beyond the 3D and what you can see. So it's the first thing after the.
But in that matter, the key point then about manifesting things from thoughts and feelings, it's about consistency.
Yeah.
It's about you keeping a consistent focus on that feeling, on that vision, on that dream, to make that quote unquote dark matter into the events that you are desiring from. And it's about consistency, but the feeling changes a lot, the emotion changes a lot, the vision changes a lot, and the consistency, it's not about always thinking the same thing. It's about thinking the same thing and then keeping your spirit excited.
Yeah.
Because that's how you produce things.
Exactly.
That's how babies come to life, when two people are really attracted to each other and they get excited, and then you know what happens, right? They hold hands, and another spirit is summoned, quote unquote, into that vessel of excitement.
Yeah.
And the key is really to keep consistent the vision, the goal, but then you have to be mutable internally and spiritually to keep the spirit excited, because that's what we will create the event. And then just real quick to finish this, there is another anime that also works very well with this concept, which is Gurren Lagann. Spoilers, by the way, but it's all about grinding spirals together to then create or draw energy from. So it's that excitement, that grinding against something, but in an exciting way, you know?
Yeah.